up guys, Anthony here, and here is my review for Detective Conan chapter 1056 and 1057. Alright guys, so 1056 we got the rest of the clues. And then 1057 was the resolution case where we actually found out who was behind it, why, and everything. So the biggest clue we got was in 1056. So the clues were this, okay? The phone. Why was the phone used? Why did the brother, the younger brother, use the wife's phone? That was one of the biggest clues, right? And the other clue is that there's a pine tree that had been moved that Nukiya-san, the victim, had supposedly moved, right? And taken. That was another big clue, and because the biggest reason was because his wife mysteriously disappeared. They don't know what happened to her or anything. So basically, this was a revenge case, right? Basically, what the theory is that our victim was an abuser, right? He was a domestic violence fiend, and he apparently took it too far one time and actually killed his wife. And the one thing we do find out is that his younger brother, he was in love with his brother's wife. That she was his first love, and his current wife, Hime, was her best friend. Right? So somehow Hime and Fugo had figured out that, or had come to an assumption that Nukiyasu, the victim, was beating her up. Why? Because when we saw a picture of her, everybody was in short sleeves, stuff like that. But she wasn't. She had sunglasses, she had long sleeves, she had all this kind of stuff. Why? Well, a lot of people are thinking that's just to hide her bruises. Black eyes, bruises, all that kind of stuff. Which you do see in unfortunately, in a lot of domestic cases. The person being abused tends to wear longer sleeves because they want to hide the bruises. They feel shame having been assaulted. So, the other clue is the cipher. So, the way to solve the cipher was basically two hearts. You take the two and heart, and the second letter is E. If we go through all that, it basically jumps from English to Japanese, saying, "Help, I'm in the attic, your wife is the culprit." So it was actually the wife who shot him, but the crazy thing is, while they were searching, and the one thing I didn't mention in the previous video was, why did it take the brother 4 days to remember that memory of being in the attic playing cards? And the thing Conan comes up with was basically, he knew what the code was. He understood the code. He figured the code out very, very quickly. He just played dumb. Right? Now, why do we say this? Quite simple. Why would he say, I'm going to call on my wife's phone? If the wife is the one that shot him and killed him, is trying to kill him, would you answer your phone? No. Of course you would. And her calling out, she wasn't trying to find him. She was trying to intimidate him. Trying to poke the bear, saying, hey, you come out of hiding, I'm going to finish the job. Sorry, guys. But that's the real thing here. So, as you can see my little girl, that's the real thing going on here. Right? So, the younger brother and sister and wife were in on it. Why? They believed that the older brother, being a domestic violence, basically an abuser, had killed his wife in a fit of rage, whatever, and that he had buried her on the villa where that tree used to be. Because, if you think about it, he got to remove a pine tree. Pine trees are huge, right? Why would you take a pine tree to Tokyo? That doesn't make sense, right? Tokyo is a city. You're not going to have a giant pine tree in the middle of Tokyo, right? Why would you do that? So you would need a construction crew of some sort to take it out because you have to get all the routes and everything. And you'd have to go at least 6, 7, maybe even 8 feet deep to get everything out so you could replant it. He could then just say, hey, just hang on a second, I want to plant another tree here, and then put his wife in that he killed, bury her, enough so that the construction workers won't notice, and go, actually, no, never mind, I changed my mind, and then they come along, fill it up, no one's none the wiser. Right? Gets away pretty much scot-free. So, the reason he sent the clues to his brother is this. He was hoping to be able to get away. That his brother would figure out what the cipher was, get away from his wife, even if it's like an hour and a half later, get up there, get him out, and he'd be able to take off and get out without her seeing so she couldn't finish the job. That's pretty much the whole point. And basically, how to kind of figure this out. How did he figure out the cipher? Well, Morty actually helped. Morty sent a cipher to Conan, and it was a mahjong one, right? It's like P-pa were the two things missing, right? Paper, toilet paper. So like, crap, toilet paper. So obviously, they kind of figure out, all right, we can understand why he did this because he's such a big fan of Yoko Ono that he doesn't want to be embarrassed by this, right? But the two biggest things, and that's pretty much the majority of the case, we figured out pretty quickly. I thought the older brother was behind, but I didn't understand. I didn't have a motive of why he would do this, and they figure out that I was pretty much on the mark, but I didn't have the motive. We got the motive in the previous, chapter 1056, where he was actually in love with the wife. That was the interesting part, but probably the more interesting part came at the end of chapter 1057, where Wakita and Conan, Wakita is obviously the sushi chef, is talking to Conan saying, you said that this code was easily solved, that even a kid could do it if, you tried hard enough. He goes, but to me, it looked really impossible unless you had a sharp wit, right? And he goes, and he also says, it certainly would it certainly catch your attention? He goes, well, if something, I'm going to read exactly what he says. He says, well, if something that should be there were missing, it would certainly catch your attention, like, say, a shogi piece. Bum, bum, bum. Why would Wakita bring up a shogi piece? Interesting, right? We know Rum potentially has a shogi piece, and it's the same piece that was missing from the main crime that Rum supposedly committed, the murder of anyway, I'm gonna forget about that. I always forget his name, right? So why would Wakita bring up a shogi piece? We do know Wakita is a potential Rum suspect. And then we move on to the next big, interesting thing. We have Bourbon, Amuro, or Bourbon, I'm going to stick with Bourbon, looking at his phone, right? And while he's at work, he's like, and we got, I'm going to say, oh, is that your girlfriend? He's like, no, well, the orders are piling out now. Let's get back to work now. He's like, yes. And the photo he's looking at is Wakita, is not Wakita, is Rumi Sensei. Wakita Rumi. The woman who legit knocked his ass out 3 chapters ago. We know it was her. There is no one else it could have been. Yes, the other teacher has glasses similar, but her hair's not as long. And we got a glimpse of who it was. And we know it without a shadow of a doubt. Wakita Rumi was the one who knocked out Bourbon. And you have to think about this. Bourbon, he can do his martial arts. He's not a pushover. And for Wakita Rumi Sensei, to be able to take him out almost instantly is nuts. And the fact that he has a picture of her and he's got his eye on her. That is another big thing. Damn, this is getting good. Right? Who is Rum? We know the head honcho. We don't give a shit about the head honcho. I don't care about him. I want to know who is Rum. The two biggest suspects at the moment for me is Rumi Sensei, Wakita Rumi, and Wakita. Right? The sushi chef. The two biggest, I would say they're the two biggest suspects at this point. Why? Wakita, the sushi chef, brings up a shogi piece out of nowhere. And we got Amano, in the previous case, we had Rumi Sensei doing a lot of crazy things. Having a shogi piece, there's a lot of crazy things going on here. And we need to know what the hell is going on. But we know Gosho. We know he likes to play little red herrings. He likes to put in little fakies here. To kind of fake us out a little bit. What's real? What's not? A lot of questions still to be answered, man. Oh man, stuff is getting good. But anyway, guys, overall, the art, solid as per normal when it comes to Detective Conan. Very solid, awesome story. The murder case was actually really cool. I actually really liked a locked murder case. It wasn't actually a locked murder case. He actually locked himself in there. But it was an interesting case, and the fact that the younger brother and sister sister-in-law were the ones behind it all, and it was a revenge case. That was the only iffy thing on it. I was like, revenge one, but whatever. Interesting case, nice way. I like the codes. I like all that kind of stuff. That was really cool. I do like ciphers because it can really get you thinking, and I kind of wish that I saw this as they came out, because I would have spent the entire week trying to figure that out, and that would have drove me mad. And I think having the code, you can overthink it, and it was something super simple. That was like, whoa, that makes so much sense. And then you can just put it all together, bang, 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 boom, bam, bam, right? Which is awesome. But anyway, guys, overall for these two chapters, I'm gonna give them 4 stars. I love these two chapters. These are good, solid chapters. I really enjoyed them. And the highlight, definitely Wakita, the sushi cabinet coming up with, maybe a shogi piece would catch your attention. And Bourbon looking at a picture of Wakasa Rumi. And I think I've been calling her Wakita Rumi. It's Wakasa Rumi. Sorry about that, guys. I butchered that. Looking at a picture of Wakasa Rumi. And I think they are our 2 strongest possible Rum suspects. But anyway, guys, that is it for me. Let me know in that comment section below what you guys thought. Did you like it? Didn't like it? All that kind of jazz. And as always, guys, I'm Anthony. You guys are awesome. Let me know all your theories. Who do you think is Rum? Do you think it's either of these two? Do you think it's Wakasa Rumi? Or do you think it's Wakita? Do you think either of them are Rum? Or do you think this is Gosho just kind of feeding the flames, getting us to get all hype and crazy, like, whoa, crap, it's going down. We're going to find out who Rum is. What do you think's going on? What do you think Gosho's doing? What do you think he's playing at? Let me know in that comment section below, guys. I'll be interested to see all your theories and all that kind of jazz. And as always, guys, I'm Anthony. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.